Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back, and apologies for last week. Had a little slight incident that we had to take care of, so there was no show last week. Again, if you're new here, welcome. This is SR Synth Weekly, episode 52. Never think I'd make it to 50 or anything like that, so here we are. A quick news thing. I'd like to say thank you. Me and my wife would like to say thank you for all the outpouring of love and support that y'all gave us during our rough time. I know my wife appreciated it. I really appreciate all the prayers and everything for my wife's mother's passing. So again, thank you all for all the emails and all the messages. So thank you. But we're gonna get back into it, and here we are, and we're just gonna jump right in and get started. First up today, I'm gonna screw up this name to start out with, so apologies. So here it is. It's I'm gonna go with Keiji Otarii. And they are they're kind of a chiptune metalcore, as they call themselves, and they're based out of Vienna. And the song they sent me today is called Lipsync Dipshxt. I'm saying it that way on purpose. This gives me a good tune, and what they describe this as is it's their first chiptune metalcore song, and it's a really cool song. I mean, it just gives me that whole vibe of, it gives me a gaming vibe. That's kind of what I went with. So what I kind of went with is kind of like the newer F-Zero, if you've played any of those and heard the music, or one of those racing type games that just has a heavy, has a great heavy soundtrack to go with it. So I kind of went with that on the first one. I went with like the F-Zero. It's a racing fight type game. We see the stage start, and all the vehicles are flying at high speeds through the level, and which is covered by like huge tech lights. It's kind of like the whole futuristic light and the whole futuristic racetracks, and they're flying through there. And we're seeing racing out while taking out the other gamers in the stage. It's kind of like that racing fighting games where you can take each other out. And as the song progresses, the stage gets faster and harder to drive throughout to the end. I mean, this whole song just gives me that whole feel of, you're racing through this heavy stage while taking out the bad guys, and it just gives me that whole just feel of it. And I just love that. It just gives me that, a great coalescence of the racing fast and the game, the whole feel. So that was kind of my first thing. Bear with me, I got something in my eye. Also on the second part, also gives me like a hacker type steel. What I mean by like two hackers competing against each other. One is the main, and the other one's is like the evil guy. And each team is trying to go through the virtual world, hacking the sections between one another to see who can get the upper hand virtually, as they're virtually fighting each other. And what they do is they're literally like hacking each other, trying to stop each other from gaining the whatever they're looking for in a storyline. And as the voicing of the song comes in, the evil is putting up new blockages in the way that the main has to break through, and then back to the one up on each other. They do the one-ups on trying to block each other just to get to the goal. Whatever the storyline in the movie is, or whatever TV that they're trying to get, they're going back and forth, trying to hack each other, and just putting blockades, and kind of like a tech war kind of feel. If you've ever seen tech war, it kind of gives that feel where they're jacked in. So both of those work for me. It could actually work on the same thing as I always put. So check this out as our good one. It's a good way to start the show back. So here it is. It's Keiji Otarii, and it's Lipsync Dipshxt. Next up on our cavalcade of wonderful new music, we have our good friend BETTOGH. I'm always going to screw up his name, so, sorry. The song they sent me today is called Perfection, and if you don't know BETTOGH from my earlier shows, they're a electronic synthwave, a little bit of everything from Germany. And, this song they sent me called Perfection is just, they describe it as a synthwave electronic element with unique guitar riffs. The guitar creates a mysterious sound that perfectly fits into the heavier and deeper low to mid end. Basically, electronic with a good deep guitar. I kind of, as you know, I like to put my little spin on things as always. If you're new here and you're just trying to figure out what I'm talking about, I create a story with the music. So, and I'll explain that here shortly. But what I came up with is we see off in the distance an unknown figure that is the other seas while being overrun by the evil in the area. We've all seen it. Everybody's getting beaten down. The main character shows up over the ridge and kind of shadowy, and then we see who it is. The main then shows themselves and takes out the evil, kind of like an anti-hero kind of deal. We then see them all head out their vehicles and post haste and back to the town for safety. But while they're racing back through the town, they have to fight off all the evil that's chasing around them. And what I mean by that is the heroes, the main characters showing up, they're all racing back to the town for the safe zone or whatever it is, like a post-apocalyptic world, and they're having to face the bad guys while they're doing it. So that's part of it. So, and then as the slow part of the song goes in, they get back to the town and have a slow moment, but then the evil's followed them in and now trying to get back in, and they got to fight them off. So, that's kind of what it gives me on that first little bit. Second part the second view I got on that is the team has arrived for the final battle against the, bunch of horde of evil, and they see the minions waiting to start and then start to do that walk towards them. We've seen it all. We've seen it before. A lot of movies do that. They'll be like the whole gang will be together and they're, armed and ready to go, and they just start walking through to go face the evil. And then as the main fast part hits of it, we see them walking through and taking out the evil of the area in like a great war fight style. I'm trying to think of a good like Civil War or kind of like Endgame. That kind of feel where everybody comes rushing at each other. That feel, and as the slow part hits on the song, we get the minions beaten, but the main ruler or the main evil, the main boss, whatever, and shows up, and then they have the main and the evil have this stare down before the final fight truly begins. It kind of gives you that, all the minions have been beaten, and then the main evil shows up, and as the main and the evil are facing each other, get that whole little stare down, little you can't win kind of feel, and then that final battle starts. So both of those work for me. I don't have a preference on that one for once. It's kind of because they both kind of work equally. So check it out. It's a really good song, as always. And as always, check out all their social medias, everybody on here. And check out all their platforms. Really good stuff. So here it is. It's BETTOGH. And the song is called Perfection. if you're new here and you're wondering what in the world's going on, what I do is I take the music that you hear, and what I do is I kind of give a visual of where it would fit in a movie or TV show, just to give you a visual of my own mind of where, you know, a song could fit in a movie, or just give you a visual, you know, as the song plays, just in your own mind. But you know, everybody has their own opinion. I'd love to hear them. And I hope you're enjoying everything. If you don't like my visual part, just you can skip it down at the below. You'll see the start times at the next to the song. So, and while you're at it, if you like this song and like the whole show, just please like and subscribe. And I hope to keep it going. So, I appreciate everybody's help, and you know, gives you a little explanation of what I do. Next up today, we have, I'm going to screw up this name horribly. It's I'm going to go with Steed, or Steed. They are a synthwave group out of Indiana, and the song they sent me today is called Accretion Disc. They describe this as an 80s dark ambient synth pop track inspired by my lifelong obsession with astrophysics and the recent first ever image of a black hole at the center of Sagittarius A. So I kind of went with that. What I did is I actually put the first thing I went with was a black hole incident. And here it is. It's kind of like the team has been dispatched to a black hole after, you know, a probe is returned that wasn't supposed to be able to. The team flies around the black hole and they see the whole, you know, everything's going on, all the wonders in it. You know, we see the lights and the, you know, the stars and the lights being sucked in and all matter being, you know, the whole kit and caboodle as they're driving around this black hole. And, you know, it's this whole, you know, this whole wondrous sight of the lights and everything. But then they notice. But then they notice that the impossibility of the probe is actually heading back out instead of while they're all taking in this whole scene. And the probe isn't supposed to be able to do it. You know, as a black hole works out, everything gets sucked in, and this probe is coming out, and they got to figure out why. So, and this is the whole scene of them going to go see the probe and, you know, getting that whole wonder light deal. So that was the first feel I got from it. The second one is the team has beaten an obstacle that the elders have placed to find a relic needed to beat the evil. Kind of like a fantasy thing, like I do. I like doing magic stuff. I don't know why. Then they enter this grand room, which shows the stars, magic flowing all over the room. We've seen that where they enter this room and all this stellar magic is happening. And as the room is being magic flowing all over the room, the elders' powers light up the room as they converse with holograms of the elders to find the relic. And then as the song progresses, the elders are showing them the way to the relic as this just whole visual magic and you know, great feeling as they go finally get the relic. So both gives me that feel. I like the black hole a little bit better, but just showing where it could work in a magic and in like a space feel. So both work. So it's a really good song. So check it out today. It's really good. Here it is. I'm gonna go with Steed. Apologies if it's wrong. And the song is called Accretion Disc. On next with our beautiful cavalcade music, as always, I have our good friend Efilheim. And if you're new to Efilheim, they're a synthwave group out of France. And the song they sent me today is called Dried, and this is from the Oblivion Principle album. It's kind of an older album they have, but it's really good. All their music's really good. And what I came up with today is a little different. It's not really different. I've said it before, but it kind of gives me that feel. That main and lover escaping goon kind of feel. So here it is. It's the main and lover have escaped the goons and have returned to each other. They get that little moment of the rush and that small time, the adrenaline rush, and have that little time with each other. We've seen that, seen the whole time that we're there, adrenaline rush and just enjoying the fact that they escape and, kind of get that, lovey-dovey kind of thing. And then we see them rushing back to finish up the search over the story, whatever the storyline is. But as the song progresses, we see each other. We see the other objective is each other and how they're growing feelings towards one another. Basically, they've been together. They know they're growing together. But as this whole objective is going through, fighting the goons and searching for everything, they're kind of realizing that they're meant for each other, and they're kind of love, and they're kind of growing. Relationship is growing together through this search. So kind of gives me that feel. Also kind of gives me another feel. It's like completely different. The team is resting when they get a call to a new mission to meet up in another galaxy. We see them getting ready and speed off into space, all while the team is traveling. All while the team is traveling. We see the planets and stars flash by while other civilizations and travelers are shown in a small montage of them traveling through the space and all the wonders that's there. And while the main is kind of giving an exposition of who they are and what's going on. Basically, we get this team, they're on the downtime, then all of a sudden they get a mission, and we see them whole rushing off into space, and kind of like at the beginning we get this whole exposition of who they are and what all these galaxies are for, and everything's going on, and it's just, then we get like to meet the whole team deal. So both work for me. I like them. It actually could both work on the same as the main theme of one movie. So let me know what you think. As always, make sure you're following them and buying their stuff, because that's what we're here for. Listen to their music, buy their stuff. No. Anyway, here it is. It's a great song, and it's Efilheim, and the song is called Dried. Next today we have a new one. It's Herb Hazard, and they are a synthwave retrowave group out of holy crap, Rama, Finland. And the song that they sent me today is called Safe and Sound. Now I kind of screwed up this, so bear with me. What I did is I kind of went with I only have one visual for this because of everything last week. I screwed up. What I did is the main visual I put for this is like the main is searching for a lover while working a mission at the same time. The lover was missing after a while. We see the main searching as the usual hangouts for them and asking around while the memories run through the mind. You know, that kind of whole feel, you know, like where are they, what's going on, and we get like flashback memories at the same time. And we then cut to the lover who is hiding from the main, so not to let them know of a secret life that they've been having. Basically, they have like a different, you know, agenda for each person. They have a secret life that they're hiding from the main, like they're either a covert op or, you know, they're secretly working for the bad guy, but they're in love with each other. And at the end, we finally get to meet up and have to get together for a while, but then the lover runs off to do the secret life while the main is confused but allows it, and we see both stuck in memories of the other. And as the whole song progresses, we see the main starts following the lover and finding the secret life. Kind of feels like that. And it just kind of gives me that whole feel. So that one visual works for this whole song, and I hope you like it. As I said, I started this last week when the incident happened that I had to deal with, and I had forgotten to put a second one on there. So check it out. This song's really awesome, so check it out and make sure you follow them. It's Herb Hazard, and it's Safe and Sound. Next up today, we have our good friend Fonz. Fonz, I'm always going to screw this up. Tramontano. You can read it. I can't pronounce it. As always, they're a synth pop, synthwave group out of the UK. Great vocals, and the song they sent me today is called Replicant. And this is a really big visual song for me. It's the main is heading out to start the story. We see them jump in the car and tear out, and we get the whole panning of racing down the streets while they're giving an exposition. You know, that whole little, you know, they pan to like the camera's panning into the driver's window as they're driving down the street, and then we get panning, you know, where they're facing, and we just see them driving, and they're giving this whole exposition. And then we cut to the small montage asking questions and searching the area to find clues for this storyline. Basically what's going on is they tear out, start the storyline. We get like an exposition who the character is and what they're searching for like the exposition storyline. And then as the song progresses, we see them cutting into informant's business to get the information that he needs after dealing with a bunch of goons. You know, basically searching around for the storyline. A couple of goons are trying to stop him, or just get revenge for something else, and we see them beat them, and they walk into the informant's place to get the information they needed. So that's kind of what it first gave me. Next, it kind of gave me we see the main enter a club full of like machines and cyborgs. While he is mostly human, basically the world's turned into cyborgs and, you know, modding and all that other stuff. We've seen like a lot of sci-fi, but, you know, you've got that one human detective kind of going on it. So, and then we see, and as this goes on, we get the pan around the club while the main band is playing. The song that's playing is the main band. You know, Fonz is, you know, up on stage, so to speak, and the song is playing as he's stared down by all these cybernetic and modded people because he doesn't belong there. And, you know, he finds the side boss there to ask questions and get expositions for the scene. And after, you know, this whole little wording thing, they go back and forth as the song's progressing in the background. And after the world is towards a slower bridge, we see them surrounded by the goons, and they have to fight the way out of the club with this new information. Basically, you know, you've seen it. Goes in this club, not welcome, finds the boss, you know, kind of grills them for information, and then the goons, you know, want to fight while the side boss is trying to stop him, and he's got to fight his way out. You know, we've seen that before, but that just kind of gives me, you know, like an Omicron club feel or something like that, just that sci-fi club feel. So let me know what you think in the comments. It's a really good song, as all of his music is, and make sure you follow him on the platforms. Here it is. It's Fonz Tramontano. I'm always going to screw it up. And the song is called Replicant.
just like you. I'm a replicant. I'm not like you. I'm coming after you. I'm a replicant. There's nothing you can do.
Last up today in our cavalcade of wonderful new music that needs to be heard is Monowoman, and I played them before. They're a synthwave group out of Russia. I'm not going to try to pronounce where they're at, the city in Russia, because I can't. And the song they sent me today is called Vostok, and this kind of gives me they call it a cold space synth, but I kind of went with an AI feel. And what I mean by that is like the team is facing an AI machine who is the given reason behind the whole storyline. They're behind all the craziness of the story, and they find out it's an AI. We then see the team in the main now trying to stop the AI from continuing, but they have to face these obstacles to get to the main computer to stop the AI. We see each member going through the computers, going through the obstacles and finding all these different computers to stop it as the main is going on, and they finally make it to the main computer. We then see them frantically trying to stop the computers while the AI is attacking them and trying, AI's minions or whatever is trying to get through. Once the AI is defeated, we see the team trying to undo all that has been done before it's too late. Basically, they put this whole time bomb around the city, so to speak, and they have to face the AI, and then once they beat the AI, everything has to be, destroyed or turned off and set back before the whole city's destroyed. That was the main thing it gave me. Next it gave me is the team is heading out to a final battle. I like final battles, I don't know why. After gearing up, we see them moving through the skies to the hideout in like this hidden space fortress. And we see them walking through the main area, taking out the lower goons, cyborgs, whatever. While the main and the lover rush through the set to set the explosives to destroy the building to face evil. what I mean by the main and lover is like you got those main and secondary characters, and they're always kind of like the love interest. So it kind of gives me that they you know, you got the rest of the team is fighting off like these little minions, and they're setting, and the main and the lover, that's how I always put it, is they're setting up traps and setting up explosives to take out this whole fortress. And then they have to go rush and face the evil. And sorry, once they defeat the evil, and towards the end we see them rushing out before the building blows, and they fly off in the sky away from this big explosion. Basically, they've set the timer, they beat the evil, evil's been defeated, and you see them rushing out and flying off in the space, and the last second, boom, everything comes out, and you just get that whole stoic explosion as they're flying away. Both of those work for me. I don't know why. It may be completely different from what the artist thought, but that's just a feeling what I get. As always, everybody has their own opinion. Let me know what you think too in the comments. And here it is. It's a really good way to stop the end of the day. So it's a Monowoman, and the song is called Vostok. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the music and some of the visuals I gave. If you're new here, please welcome. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when the new episodes come out weekly. Again, as I said at the beginning of the show, I appreciate all the warm wishes for me and my wife through the difficult time last week, and hopefully nothing else will happen crazy. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see y'all next week. And keep the music flowing, and make sure you follow everybody on here and follow, go in the last shows and enjoy the music there. So that's all it is. Music is here to be enjoyed. So everybody has a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.